Welcome in along with Mike Renner. I'm Steve Palazzolo, and this is your Deandre Baker NFL Draft Profile, all powered by PFF Edge in Elite. Mike, there's not a lot of top corners in this draft that you just say, here's the top guy, surefire, no matter what. But I think Baker's at least in the conversation, one of three cornerbacks with a clear first-round grade for us.
Yeah, and I think the reason being all of them have some big, I don't want to say red flag, but some big hole in their game, something they're missing. For Deandre Baker, I think it's his speed. Yeah, and it showed up at the combine, ran in the 4.5s. He just doesn't have the long speed you'd love if you're taking a cornerback top 10, top 15 in this draft. Now, it didn't show up a ton on tape. The longest reception he gave up all year was only 17 yards. He didn't get beat deep this past season at Georgia, but there are some aspects of his game that make me worry about him getting beat more at the next level.
Yeah, so I like his ability to mirror and play man coverage, but as you said, maybe not a ton of opportunities to make plays down the field, but the on-field production has been fantastic. Allowed a passer rating of only 32.7 back in 2017, 40.2 last year. Made a ton of plays on the ball, and I think we try to separate him from, say, Greedy Williams from LSU, Byron Murphy from Washington. I think Greedy's a fantastic press man guy, Byron Murphy a fantastic zone corner. I think Baker can do a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think he can do a little bit of both, and he's probably, of those three, he's probably the most physical of the bunch, and you saw it on a lot of underneath routes. Basically anything, any sort of hitch, any sort of underneath route, he was at the catch point trying to break it up. He was fantastic in that regard, but a lot of the technique he played there at Georgia, a lot of off coverage, if guys started to get past him deep, if it was a go route, a downfield route, he was chucking them at 8 to 10 yards, and then he was bumping them and running with them, which you can't do at the NFL level. You're not allowed to hit that guy after 8 yards. You can do it in college and get away with it, but you're not going to be able to do that in the NFL. That sort of physicality, I worry about him having to play in a lot more press man situations or having to go from off coverage and transitioning without using that physicality and just having his speed, because that's where that long speed might show up.
The tough part about projecting corners, doing what you said, is how many guys are just beaten and trying to hit a guy at 8 or 10 yards, and how many guys just know the college rules because it's legal, and how many guys are just saying, man, I can chuck. There is no illegal contact in college, in case you're not aware. So at 10, 15 yards, you can hit a guy. So some guys are just smart, some guys are beaten, but there were definitely some concerning plays on tape from Baker. So I think the overall package, though, is just solid, right? Good tackler, can play off, make plays in front of him, makes plays at the catch point, but the long speed, that has to be the biggest concern.
Long speed is a little bit of a concern. That's why he's a little lower down our board. You can worry about some of those big plays down the field, but I think you all sort of described a cornerback with great feel for the game. Just the way he plays football, he will be a good football player for you, even if he's not going to be a Jalen Ramsey, worthy of a top 10 pick, shut down, follow a guy man corner. He'll be a good football player for your team.
And I still come back to that lateral agility, which is, that's when you're mirroring guys and playing man coverage. I do think he's solid in that area, especially compared to others in the class. So there you have it. It's your Deandre Baker NFL Draft Profile, all powered by PFF Edge and Elite.